SteamOS still isn't officially out yet for the Legion Go 2, but I did show you a little while ago how to install SteamOS 3.9 early, and I said I'd promise it with a follow-up, and I'm going to show you what I'd recommend that you do now. So you can already see that my SteamOS is not the normal edition. I'll show you how to do that stuff, but I'll also show you, some fixes. But I just want to show you what we're on. So currently we are fully up to date. We're on the OS main and then Steam Deck beta just here, and we are running Steam 3.9 just there. Now the first thing that doesn't work still is the brightness slider. So let's just show you that one. So I'm going to go in here, brightness in the quick settings, right? And I'm going to click on that and it doesn't work. Nothing changes. So what we have to do is actually install like a fix for that in Decky Loader. I'll show you how to do this, but you can see here that this fix actually changes the brightness and it actually works. So let's start by showing you how to do that, because this is quite important for other stuff I'm going to show you, so we might as well just start here. So what we want to do straight away is go to power and then go to switch to desktop. And now we're into the desktop just here. Can be a scary place, but it's not. I've got my mouse here so I can show you, but you can use the trackpad, right? So you can do that, and if you swizzle it around, it will show you where it is. And if you are using the trackpad or touch screening, right, you've got left trigger is like right click, if you're coming from Windows, right? And right trigger is left click, again, if you're coming through Windows, but I'm using a mouse. So the first thing we need to do is actually set your sudo password. Now this is incredibly important, that it's something that you will absolutely remember, because it will lock you out if you forget it. So you need this. This is basically like an admin password, right? And you can do this within console, but I find the easiest way is to go down to the bottom left here, and then up to where it says SteamOS user, right? Just click on that, and then it will launch this page just here. And it will say users, blah, 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 and then change password. I'm not going to do that because I've set mine and I don't want to mess it up. But click on change password. When you're typing in a box, it won't show you what characters you're inputting, right? This password will just stay blank, so you'll have to type it in once, then you'll have to type it in the second box, most likely the second box, that your repeated password, and then click OK, and it will save it like that. Now, if you're having an issue with typing in a box because you're clicking in an area, right? You're maybe touch screening or whatever, and you're like, well, where's my keyboard? Press X. And then give it a second and it will pop up. Now, if you can't get it away, you've got that little move icon down at the bottom there, just click on that, right? So that's how you pop the keyboard up in the desktop mode. So set your sudo password, make sure it's something really easy to remember. I've just done like 4 characters so that I know exactly what that is. And yeah, job's a good one. Now we can install something called Decky Loader. So what you want to do is open up your Firefox, and I've already got these like prepared for you, right? So we're just going to literally open up Decky Loader. Just go to Google and type in Decky Loader. So you could go into Google like this, bring up your keyboard and just type in Decky Loader. I've already got it up there, right? And then I've done this from the main website, right? But you can just do it from GitHub if you want to, but there we go. So I'm here, and in the top you'll see download, and then you can go into this little folder icon, right? So this area here, and then go to downloads, and you'll see Decky installer. Now I recommend that you actually keep the installer here and not delete it, because I have noticed when Steam, like Valve, push out an update for SteamOS, sometimes it actually breaks this plugin, and the only way to fix it is by basically like re-updating it via the launcher, right? So double click on it and it will either say launch or execute or whatever, right? And you're going to hit launch, and then it's going to come up saying enter your password. So then you're going to press X to bring up your keyboard, then you're going to type in your password, and then you're going to click OK, right? And then it's going to give you options. So you've got update to the latest release or update to the latest pre-release, recommended for beta preview SteamOS users, right? So I'm pretty sure I've done the beta preview. If it doesn't work, just come back here and then do the other one. And that's what I found with the updates. Whenever Valve pushes an update, sometimes I have to select the stable version for it to actually start working again. Sometimes I have to select the beta version, you know, so it's weird. So it's just kind of like, try it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, come back, do it again. And this is the same thing with, like I said, if you're in gaming mode and it's not displaying anymore because Valve have updated SteamOS, just come back here and just toggle these ones until it starts working again. Now, before we head back to gaming mode, this is like the only thing we really need to do here in desktop mode. There's one more thing we need to do, and that's actually download the brightness slider fix. So I'll leave the link in the description down below, right, of the video. But you want to come back to the Firefox, and you want to go to GitHub link. Now you can just literally Google Decky plugin fix Lego 2 brightness Catchy OS, and this is for Catchy OS, but it works with SteamOS, okay? So just bear that in mind, and you just want to go ahead and download this from GitHub, right? So just download this fix, and then that will appear in your downloads. Yep, so mine's Legion Go 2 brightness.zip, right? So I've already downloaded it, so just download it from the GitHub, and now we're all good to go. You can cancel all of this stuff, and then we do the rest of it in gaming mode, right? So just go up to the top here and click on Return to Gaming Mode and double click on that. And now we're back into gaming mode, right? When you open the right menu, you will now have Decky. Now there won't be any of this, right, on the side. There won't be any of that. I've installed all this stuff and we'll go through all that in a moment, but let's just get that brightness fix sorted, right? So you'll have Decky here, but we want to go to the cog and we want to go to general and go all the way down to where it says developer mode, enable that, because that brightness fix, we're gonna have to install it from a zip. It's not available on the Decky store. Go to developer, and then it says install plugin from zip file. So you're gonna hit yes. So you're gonna go into downloads, it's a single click, and then you're gonna see Legion Go 2 brightness.zip. Just click on that, and then it will install it. And now, when you go to this, you're gonna have to go all the way down, annoyingly, to the Decky bit here, and then Legion Go 2 brightness fix Catchy OS, and now there we have it. And you can adjust it. I have noticed that it does jump back sometimes. So sometimes I'll restart and go into SteamOS and it will just default to 40. And then I have to go in and go, no, I want it on 70 is normally where I leave it, right? And the same with if I go into desktop mode and then come back, it's like reset itself. But it does stay there once you're like in and you're using it. It's just check it, you know, if you're feeling like it's a bit dim. The reason I like this method, there is another method as well, but this method is easy to uninstall. So when SteamOS is officially supported, it'll be very easy to just come in here and get rid of it, right? We can go in here, go into Decky and just get rid of it. So where it says brightness fix, you can just click the three dots and then uninstall, and then you don't have to mess around with any coding or anything. So whilst it's a bit of a pain to like open up the side menu, scroll down and then go to here, at least it works. Now, before we go through some of the Decky plugins, which are really, really cool, right? I want to show you one thing that's really cool that Steam and Valve have done and implemented. So we're just going to press B to go to here. We're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go down to customization. The RGB works now. So you can see here, look, RGB works, and you can change the effects. I mean, it's really basic, but you can change the effects, you can change the brightness and the color. I just have it set to this to match my grips just here. Ignore my dog flapping in the background if you can hear him. And the other thing is as well, if you don't know about SteamOS, you're a bit of a noob here, the startup movies are really, really cool. So there's an absolute load of them, right? So there's so many. These are all the ones I've like bought from the shop, not with real money, but you can go to the points shop, right? And if you've got points, then you can, you know, purchase different startup movies. And you can either select one once you've downloaded it, you can shuffle them, which is what I just do. I just shuffle it so it's different every time I turn it on, which is pretty cool. And you can use as a wake up as well. So when you like press the button, it goes to sleep, and then you press it again, it will play that. I don't like that because I don't want to wait around and watch it. You can cancel them out, but that's just something that I thought I'd mention, which is pretty cool. And you can do the same for the keyboard. You've got themes as well, so you can go through and change them, and you can buy them on the theme shop, but there's not that many of them.
Right, it's time for me to pay the 128 KB bills for today's totally impartial video sponsor, and that's Eneba. And today we're lucky enough to introduce you to our secret that is legitimately going to save you an absolute fortune. Yes, this is the true identity of An Andy's uncle in Argentina. Because let's face it, paying 70 quid for a brand new digital release or buying some in-game currency directly from the console store sometimes feels like an overpriced shambles. And this is where Eneba comes in. It's a massive digital marketplace packed with over 40,000 digital products. They offer incredible deals on tons of titles, whether you're looking for a retro classic or a brand new AAA game or some indie gems across PC, console, and even mobile. Yep, apparently mobile games are still a thing too. If you need DLC, gift cards, or in-game currency, you can find them directly here for actually cheaper than buying them at source, which kind of seems mad to me. You're literally buying digital currency for less than it's worth. They also have a surprising number of keys for miscellaneous in-game items, so if you missed out on some exclusive promotional skin or weapon camo years ago, there's actually a very good chance that it's sitting right there on Eneba too. And of course, if you're like me and a proper cheapskate and you want to stack something like your PS Plus or your Game Pass subscription, you can do that here as well for cheaper than if you bought it direct. They also prioritize customer support with a 24/7 live support, so if you ever have a concern with your purchase or need some help, you're totally covered there too. So if you want to stop overpaying for your digital games, currency and rare items, or just meet Andy's uncle from Argentina, then this is it. Hit the link in the description to check out Eneba, and by doing so you'll be directly supporting the channel. And of course, massive thanks to Eneba for sponsoring this video.
Now let's go through some of the things I've done to make it look like this, because you can see that I've got like this huge carousel with this big artwork popping in the background, which is really, really cool. And I can even change the artwork as well. So I can choose what artwork I want. And you might also notice that I've actually got like the Legion Go like icon down there in the corner. So instead of it showing the Steam button, I've actually got the Legion button for the menu, which is really, really cool. And that shows across here, which can be done via Decky. So in Decky here, you've got next to the settings cog, you've got this like little store icon, right? And that's going to bring up literally the store. They're all free, but that's just what's in here. Now there is an absolute shed load. Like there's so much stuff. So you might find that there's stuff in here that you want to mess around with that I haven't shown you, right? But that's down to you. I'm just showing you some like basic stuff that I like using, but there is an absolute shed load. And to install them, you just click on install and then it will show in there, right? So once you've gone into that little store thing, you can search as well. And I recommend downloading a few of these. So the first one is SteamGrid DB, and this actually lets you change the artwork. So it's really, really cool. You've got the download just there. And if I go on to, I don't know, like, let's go to Diablo, right? Click the start button just here, and then I've got change artwork at the bottom there. If I click on it, I can literally change through all these like user uploaded images, which is so cool. And it shows for each different thing. So you've got the capsule, which is literally that little image. You can change the big wide image. You can change the background. So if I go back to change artwork, you've got the capsule, you've got wide capsule, you've got hero, which is the background, the big background one. You've got logo as well. You've got icon, and then you can manage stuff as well, which is really, really cool. Like you can change all of this stuff. You can delete stuff. You can manually upload it if you want to. It's very, very cool. I like that sort of customization. So you can just go through. I mean, I've even got GameCube games on here that I haven't even like messed with. So I can go into like the hero thing just here and change it to like, I don't know, that one. And then when I go back, there you go. So I've got Tony Hawk's Underground there now showing a different image in the back, for example. It's pretty cool. Really, really cool. So that's SteamGrid DB. The next one we can do is CSS Loader. So I highly recommend this. And this is where it then has its own shop. So you've got like its own like free shop in here as well. And this is to fully like mod the aesthetics and theme, right? So you can completely change everything here. I've gone for quite a simplistic thing because there is so many, like there is so many here. I've gone for quite a simplistic like carousel with a big art background just because that's what I like, right? So I'm in CSS Loader here and I've got Art Hero, which is, you know, this one. So when you go to enable it, I just say enable with the recommended configuration, and I go, yeah, cool. And then you can go in here and you can change stuff still, right? So you can like completely adjust all this, which is really, really cool. I've also got handheld controller glyphs, which is within the CSS loader like store, if you want to call it that, right? And that is what's giving me the Legion Go icon, right? So if I disable it, I've now got the Steam icon. If I enable it, now I've got the Legion Go 2 icon. And if I do the drop down for this, I've selected, I'm using a Legion Go 2. I want the Legion Go 2 glyphs, right? And then you can even go as far as like swapping stuff around, swapping buttons and stuff. It's pretty cool, right? So just bear that in mind. That's one that I highly recommend, is handheld controller glyphs. And that was a highly requested one of like, Andy, how did you get the frickin' Legion like buttons on here instead of Steam ones? That was one of them. Now I've also got mini carousel, which is what like makes the, you can see in the background, right? So if I turn it off, that's like big carousel. This is like, you know, bad eyesight mode, right? You need like your reading glasses on for this one, because you can stack them, right? So you don't have to just have one. You can literally like layer them, which is what we're doing now, right? So I've got mini carousel on top of whatever the other one's called, like Art Hero or whatever it is, Art Hero, yeah. So I've got mini carousel, which has now made them tiny, which is much nicer because I like that big art background, right? So I'm gonna go back in here. And once you've set all this stuff, you don't need to mess with it again. And then I've also got round. So all this is like subtle AF, right? Because non-round literally is rectangular. So everything's got like sharp right angled corners. But I just kind of thought it looked a little bit softer on the eyes by adding one called round. Again, all of this is in that store, so just bear that in mind. You click on round, and again, it's all customizable. And now they've just got little tiny rounded corners, and it just looks a little bit nicer to me, right? So that's CSS loader, pretty cool. You can do so much stuff in here. I've just gone real basic just because I like it quite minimalist, which is cool, right? So that's that. Now there's also a Decky Loader for lossless scaling. Obviously, you need to have bought lossless scaling on Steam, right? And also you need to have it installed, but it's called Decky LSFG-VK, and it's got a little quacker on it, it's got a little duck. So you click on that, and then here we go. So you can then enable within the quick bar your Decky, you know, your lossless scaling, rather than having to like try and back out and all that kind of rubbish. This makes it so much easier. It's so good, like it's so much better, it really, really is. So what you need to do is go in here, and you can, whilst you're in game, you can adjust the FPS, you know, multiplier and all that kind of stuff. But there's one thing you need to do first, and that is actually go down to the bottom where it says copy launch options. So copy launch options, you're going to click on that. Then you're going to go to the game. Let's just say, I don't know, Diablo, right? You're going to click the little burger icon or start, whatever, right? You're going to go to properties, and then where it says launch icons, you're going to click in there, and then you're going to paste. And if you haven't seen it, there's a paste icon down in the bottom next to the like hide the keyboard thing, right? So you can just go ahead and hit paste, and that's it. That's literally it. You can just back out, and it will just save that command there. If you don't want it there anymore, just go in and delete it, right? And then you can come in here whilst the game's running and enable lossless scaling, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here. You can go through this and mess with it, but I just wanted to show you how to get it working. Oh, and you might need to go at the bottom and do the flat pack setup as well. So you can see at the bottom, I've got two checks here to say lossless scaling is installed and LSFG-VK is installed. Now, I haven't done it, but you can install Epic Games as well really easily. So go into Decky Loader, go into here, and then search for Junk Store. So just put in Junk, there you go. And you can install Junk Store. You have to sign in via that like plugin, right? And then you can access your Epic Games library really easily and just download them. I just never use them. I'm one of those people that got all the free games on there, but I just don't play them anyway. But if you do, there you go. And there is a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, you can go through each and every one of them on the Decky Loader store just to see, you know, what you want. There is a loudness like thing as well. There's one with like a little like speaker icon, which will boost the volume to over 100% if you really want to use that yourself, right? I don't really have too much of an issue with the volume here because I don't normally crank it to like as loud as possible. But there's so much stuff in here. There's also a way to open OptiScaler as well with the Decky FrameGen plugin, but I haven't started messing around with this yet because I'm going to like look at putting FSR4, you know, and all that kind of stuff in here, but I haven't actually messed around with that yet. I just haven't had time, so I don't really want to like recommend and show that yet, just because I haven't done it yet. Now, the last thing I want to show, because it was annoying to me, is for emulating. Now, we don't really show emulation stuff here on the channel because it's a bit of a grey area, and you know, we don't want to get our butts slapped and spanked by Nintendo or anyone else, right? But I want to show you an issue that I ran into and how to fix it. So you can find online guides, right, on how to install emulators. Decky is really easy to install, but I had an issue where all my GameCube games, you know, didn't work. They just wouldn't get controller inputs at all. Like, it just did not work. And it was really frustrating when it's worked on other devices for me, but just not the Legion Go 2. So what I've had to do is I've got a Dolphin here. I'm just going to hit play. What I'm going to do is hit controllers at the top where it says port 1. I'm going to hit configure. It's going to open this screen up. On the top left where it says device, I'm going to click that and then scroll down until it says SDL/0/SteamOS handheld controller, right? And I'm just going to click in that and then close it. We're going to go to options, hotkey settings, and then in the top left, we're going to do the same thing with the SteamOS handheld controller right at the bottom. And then we're just going to enable that, and then we're going to hit close, and then we can close this out by clicking at the top and hitting exit game. And now your GameCube games will actually register your inputs properly. And within Decky Loader, there is actually an Decky like cheat sheet thing just here, which is really cool. So I recommend downloading that as well. So there we have it. That's pretty much everything so far that I recommend you doing whilst you're betaing the SteamOS 3.9 right before official release. You can check on the Steam Deck like updates website, the official Valve SteamOS like website, which shows you updates. It's always getting updated. Literally like every other day there's an update, and quite frequently there's updates that also involve the Legion Go 2 as well, like controller support and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. So I highly recommend that you do everything that I've shown you in this video. Or if you're still just like on the fence and you don't like the bugs with like the screen brightness and things like that, then just wait until the full release sometime this summer. I mean, we're only, what, 2 or 3 months away, so it shouldn't be too long. But so far, I'm loving SteamOS on the Legion Go 2. I absolutely love it. The performance is great. I'm getting GPU utilization at like 99%, whereas on Windows, quite a lot of the time it was being capped at like 70% and the performance just wasn't there. So it's actually a lot better on SteamOS. But of course, you know, take with that what you will. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments whilst you're down there. Like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you get to chat to us over on our private Discord as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'm sorry this video took like a million years for me to make. Bye.